It's 8 a.m. in the morning. You wake up, you see yourself in your room alone, realizing that you have to go to work. As you put your shoes on, your shirt on, you start heading to work, you think to yourself, it's the same thing every day. You do the same thing. You go to work, you talk to the same people every day, and you think to yourself, is this really my life? You come back, you do the same thing, maybe even sometimes have the same patterns, and you think to yourself, is this really me? Is this really my life? Is this really what life has to offer? Is this the best thing I can do? Even just being there in isolation and alone, and you think to yourself that there has to be something I can do to make some kind of difference. I don't want to feel stuck. I don't want to feel isolated. And if that is you, I know exactly how you feel, bro. Because for the past days and past week, I've lately been feeling like I'm stuck. Thinking to myself, how can I resolve this issue without feeling this pain within my body, without feeling stuck and stifled? Doing the same menial task, going to the same job. So how do you really unfuck your life? How do you really move on to things and actually change your circumstance and change your situation? First, you have to realize the problem. Obviously, you're doing the same thing every day. You're seeing the same things occur. But to ask yourself why. Ask yourself what it is that you're doing. What is this things you can change in your life? Sometimes for people it's the situations. Sometimes for people it's the environment. Sometimes for people it's the emotion attached to that thing. For one thing, you have to realize that you have to change your habits, how you do things in life. If you want to actually start making change, you have to start doing something different. You can't approach something different with the same thing. It's almost like that Albert Einstein quote, insanity is doing the same thing every day and expecting something different. You really have to make change. There is a book I do recommend if you want to read it called Atomic Habits. That's a really good book of how you can change your habits and how you can change your thoughts. Change your routine. Change how you do things in life. Make some sort of difference. For another thing you can do to unfuck your life is to literally change the thought process, the emotion attached to it. Why is it that you're having the emotion? Why is it that you're feeling so sad inside within yourself? There has to be a reason why. And simply just thinking that you can change something and your emotion will go away, it's not always helpful. There's always a deep rooted cause to it. Because when there's a problem, it's more deep rooted to childhood, maybe. Really dig deep into the why. Why is it that you feel this way? Why do you feel crappy with yourself? Why do you have low self esteem? Why do you have a lack of self worth? Why is it maybe you don't feel like you can talk to people? You can't communicate. Figure out how you can improve that. Start reading, learning from people who do it so much better. Start taking advice from people who are just a little farther ahead and just take that and then learn from it. And you also really have to change your thoughts. You really have to change how you are thinking about a circumstance, how you're thinking about yourself. How do you view yourself? How do you view things in life? Because if you view yourself in a certain manner, something within yourself, then your outer world will reflect what you are thinking. If you can just change how you are thinking, if you can really take that time and practice how you view yourself by really reframing your thoughts, and by the way, down below, like I've made before, there's a free kind of reframe worksheet you can use anytime. You start to really build up that momentum to really change how you think and view yourself. You change how you view your life, but it takes time and that build up. Number three, change your environment. Change who you surround yourself with. Change who you hang around with. Change who you let in your space. Because some of those people who let in your space are not really helpful, and that can include family and friends. Sometimes people in your life might take more than what is necessary. Your safe space, your energy, the people around you can take more than what is necessary, and you can feel drained at times. You can feel maybe you're picking up on what they're feeling, and you just feel like it's not really good for you. You have to really change that environment. You have to change where you are. And even if this job, if you don't like it, and if you have bills, and I understand many people have bills in life, find something else, a different job. You have to change something because no one's going to do it for you. Also, find some sort of purpose, some sort of passion, something that sparks light into yourself, something that makes you happy. Stop finding these external things, these short temporary pleasures, drinking, porn, it doesn't matter, to bring you happiness. That doesn't last long. Find something that actually brings you happiness, a purpose, a reason to live. Back when I was younger, a kid, I didn't really have a purpose. I didn't really have a reason. I just kind of lived how everyone else lived. I felt really sad with myself. I felt ashamed of who I was. I didn't feel good within me, my body. I felt stifled. I didn't express myself. And I just didn't feel great. I felt hurt and like as I'm this wounded person. And I realized that I had to change something. It couldn't be the same forever. You have to change that. So within this short video I wanted to make of how to unfuck your life, I hope there's some sort of value you can take that you can actually just apply to yourself. Even though I didn't talk about myself much in this video, how I usually talk in my other videos, I hope there's some sort of insight, some sort of rewiring you can use, some sort of method to rewire your brain, rewire your habits, rewire yourself, to realize that you can change and you don't have to be in the same environment with the same people, with yourself, the same emotions, that you can change who you are without feeling trapped, without feeling stifled, without feeling hurt. So start today. Make some sort of difference, even if it's small. It doesn't have to be huge. One small step could be simply as making your bed, which is a really good habit to have. Clean your space, clean your room. Go to the gym, talk to people, work on your confidence skills, or even just start within yourself. Start healing within yourself by doing more meditation practices. Start something. It doesn't have to be big. Peace to next time.